Hello everybody, Dark Skeleton here, and in this video I wanted to talk to you about the Duelyst Steam release. So primarily this is going to be for newer players who may have just seen it pop up on their Steam newest games list. Which begs the question, what the hell is Duelyst? Well, if you've played other TCGs like Hearthstone, then you kind of have an idea of how this combat between you and the enemy hero goes, but Duelyst is interesting because it's not just a straight up TCG where you have a board in front of you, but it's actually a grid based TCG. So because the grid in Duelyst, you're able to move your creatures and your hero around the board in Duelyst, and this is relevant because certain skills and abilities target enemies and heroes based on their location. So if you follow my channel, you know that I come from a predominantly Hearthstone background. I've played it a lot, it's a great game. But when you make that transition into Duelyst, it's very different. The way that the game is played, the strategies of the game, are completely different. For instance, there's a minion called, I believe, the Repulsor Beast, which is a 3-mana 2/2, and you choose a enemy minion, and you get to move that to any location on the board. If you use that on a big minion, like a golem that may have cost 5 or more mana, you can basically take that minion out of the entire combat because it'll take several turns to get back to a location on the grid where it's able to attack. For those of you who tried Duelyst out in the beta version, the game has progressed quite a ways since then. I noticed jumping into the game that many cards have been rebalanced. They're creating a new set which is going to release later this month, I believe. With each season, which occurs once a month, they add in some sweet promo cards that you get by playing ranked, and those of course are going to change the game a bit. And perhaps most notably, they've added in the equivalent of Hearthstone hero powers into the game, which are abilities you can trigger based on the hero you select, not necessarily the clan, but the hero, so there are multiple heroes you can select for each clan, and those have a fairly significant impact on the game. But going back to the grid system of Duelyst, I think that's really where the game shines. It opens up a lot of different possibilities for how you can play the game. For instance, minions with flying have the advantage of being able to fly anywhere on the board in a turn, but they tend to have weaker stats. There are minions with backstab, where if they get behind one of your minions, they do extra damage. And it's possible to just create a meat shield of big minions, putting them around your hero so that there's no opening for an enemy or an enemy minion to attack your guy. So the download for the game on Steam is about 500 megabytes, which considering the modern era is pretty modest. It's free to play, which means you only have to spend money on basically orbs, which are booster packs effectively, if you want to, but you can also acquire those through in-game quests. And if you're into these sort of games like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, then I really do think Duelyst is a nice change of pace. So if you haven't already given it a try, go ahead, download it on Steam, and prepare to get your ass kicked a bit because the competitive scene seems to be pretty legit at the moment. So I've been Dark Skeleton, thanks for watching my video on the Steam release of Duelyst, and hopefully I'll see you in my future content.